Do you compare yourself to others? Do you scrutinize yourself in the mirror, searching for ways to look better and feel better about yourself? Have you ever heard the expression, what you are on the inside shows on your face? Because your face really does tell a story of what's going on within you. So if you're ready to embrace who you are and to be confident in the skin you're in, you're going to want to tune into today's episode 22 of the Coffee and Confidence Show, how to be confident in the skin that you're in. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kelly Kerrigan and I'm your host. I'm an assertiveness coach and my business is Empower Me Coaching. I'm empowering people pleasers worldwide to calm the chaos and live a balanced life. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a mother, and I'm the creator of the 12-week program, Calm the Chaos for People Pleasers. So what is a people pleaser? A people pleaser is those who put everyone else's needs before their own. They're selfless givers. They love to give. But there comes a point where you start to feel resentful of what you're doing for others and you feel depleted. You feel like a doormat. So if this sounds like you, definitely connect and I can help you through your people-pleasing ways so that you can stop your people-pleasing ways. So I've created the Coffee and Confidence Show where I'm interviewing amazing people, just like my guest today, to help you foster self-confidence and to have a little fun. So without further ado, I want to welcome today's guest, Maura-Jo Haytaoglu. Welcome so much, Maura-Jo. Maura-Jo is a business owner. She is, in my eyes, the epitome of assertiveness because everything she does comes from a place of love, which has led her to be very successful in her business. So thank you so much, Maura-Jo, again for being here. Please share a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you so much for asking me to be on. What can I tell you about myself? I'm a mother of 2 teenage children. We live in Trenton, Ontario. My husband is a serving military member and has been for 28 years. I own an Arbonne business and have for the last 11 years. Prior to Arbonne, I was a recreation therapist and working in the field of dealing with adults with mental disabilities and sort of just helping them live their greatest lives. And I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband was gone over 200 days of the year, and we needed to make sure that the kids had some stability. And so me being at home was really, really important. But I'm going to tell you, Kelly, I was not happy being a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. As much as I loved my children, I felt like I wanted more, and I wanted to give more and have more and do more, and I needed some adult conversation. So that's why I started my Arbonne business, was to get out of the house and offer that flexibility for me. I also am somebody that is, I like to say I'm an acne survivor. And the reason I say that is I didn't really have bad skin growing up in high school necessarily, but I was a competitive swimmer. And so I was in chlorine all the time, which basically took care of that because it dried out everything. But after having children, my skin exploded into cystic acne. And what happened was, as much as I seemed like a very confident individual and I was very social, I was more cocky than confident. Inside, I didn't feel very pretty. I didn't feel very confident. And I started to kind of get into the role of closing the doors on relationships and my life and just going, well, I guess this is what I'm living with. And my face was a mess. So how could I ever do something like Arbonne, which is a skincare health and wellness company, when I looked like such a mess? So that was my sort of start 11 years ago with my business. So that's where I come from. I'm happily married. I started my business and I wasn't happily married. I started my business actually to get out of my marriage. And it sounds so gives me goosebumps when I say this, Kelly, because for me, I was feeling trapped. And I think it was more about me not being confident in who I was as an individual. So I stayed because I didn't feel I had a choice. I looked at Arbonne and the income that it was going to provide for me and the social outing and getting to know more people in a community I didn't know very well as an option for choice to be able to get out of that. But what I found was that when I got my confidence back, I felt head over heels in love with my husband, and because I had choice and I didn't feel locked into it.
That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that story.
Yeah.
I know that you have some really good tips for the people tuning in today, and I'm excited to get to that. But before we do, it is the Coffee and Confidence show. So I always do this little piece. It's called What is in Your Cup? So
Cool.
we're going to get to share what is in our cup. And if anybody's tuning in live or catching the replay, let us know what is in your cup in the comments. Give us a like, share this out to people who need to hear this message today. So I'll ask you first, Maura-Jo, what's in your cup this morning?
Well, I have two on the go. My husband had to leave for a flight this morning at 4 a.m. So I've been up for 5 hours. So I've already had my tea and my fizz stick, which I don't drink coffee anymore. I drink tea and what's called a tizzy. And it's an Arbonne product, a Arbonne tea and an Arbonne energy fizz stick. So I've had two of those already today. Otherwise, you would have seen me with a cup of that. So I have my morning shake, and I call it the $1 million shake, not because it costs $1 million, but because it actually makes me feel like $1 million. So lots of, there's 30 or 20 grams of protein in here. It's all vegan, plant-based protein that actually fuels my body for energy and for stamina, but also it gives my gut health everything that I need to function properly. And then on my second, because I drink lots of water throughout the day, I have a bottle here full of water with a little bit of a fizz stick in it because, 4 a.m. was early.
Yeah, no doubt. 4 a.m. is early.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing what's in your cup. So I also have 2 cups on the go this morning. I just have like a little bit of my coffee left, which I really enjoy in the morning. I haven't been able to give up the coffee thing yet. I really like my 1 cup of Java in the morning. But I also have a fizz stick. I just love the taste of it. I find that it gives me that energy, and I find that it helps hydrate me as well. So yeah, that is what is in my cup, as well as I'm really excited for the holiday season, cooler temperatures. There's some white stuff out on the ground, which is always exciting. Change of season. I get really excited for that. So I want to remind everybody, if you're tuning in live, if you're catching the replay, please give us a comment, ask some questions. The more involved you are in this, the more you are going to get out of it and the more value that we can provide to you guys. So Maura-Jo, you were saying earlier that there was a point in your life that you weren't so confident in your skin, and you had mentioned that you're more cocky than confident. Yeah. Right? And, you had shared that what did you say, that you're like an acne survivor? Is that how you worded it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really interesting. And I'm sure there's many viewers, many people out there that can relate, and that, they appear confident on the outside, but yet inside they're like dying inside, and they're, it's just like kind of like a facade because they haven't done that inner work, or they're just putting on a show, or however you want to word it. So what really changed for you? What was that like TSN turning point in your life where you realized that, hey, maybe I'm not so confident, I am kind of cocky, and I want to change that?
Yeah, I think honestly, I didn't realize that I was that way until I had children of my own. And because they're often mirrors to us in our behaviors and things like that. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be recognized for something. And so I was constantly doing things for recognition. And I got good at being the cover-up queen, like, just pretending and playing it out. And then I had children, and I realized that I was really living real life. And what changed for me was that I had to do some personal growth, and I had to do a lot of personal growth. I had to deal with demons from my past, so to speak. I had to really grasp onto forgiving what had happened in the past, and knowing that the people that were involved in my life in my younger years were just doing the best job that they knew how to do. And so being grateful and waking up every day with a grateful heart, and knowing that I have something special to give people by just shining light into them and showing belief in them. And if I walk the walk of gratitude, other people will learn how to walk that walk of gratitude. And I've watched my children grow up to be these confident young individuals who really just go for everything because they watch their mom do the exact same thing. And it's not me just pretending anymore. It's me totally being present in the moment and making choices that are going to help other people, but yet give me what I need and fill my own cup, because I was always looking for other people to fill my cup. But what I didn't realize before was that I had to fill my own cup. And so I have a gratitude journal. Every day I do 20 minutes of personal growth and development. I have favorite books that I recommend to people depending on their life situation. And I'm a reader, and leaders read. That's just the reality of it. And I'm so grateful, honestly. I always joke that Arbonne is a skincare company disguised. It's disguised as a skincare company, but it's a personal growth company, because I've been able to surround myself with a beautiful community of people that actually just believe in me bigger than I ever believed myself. And once I got the belief in myself, I could then pour belief into other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I want to highlight something that you said there that's really important, a really important message, is that your kids, they will follow what's modeled to them, right? So, like you said, they are not afraid to go out and go for something and face the challenges and really put themselves out there to get the results that they want. And that's so amazing. And, just by doing gratitude and having those, habits, and those are I call them daily success habits, is that you're teaching them, you're modeling it to them. You're not just saying, this is what you need to do. Even yesterday, my daughter stayed home from school. She wasn't feeling well. So she hung out in her bedroom for a while. And then she came down. She's like, yeah, I was, doing whatever. And then I wrote in my gratitude journal, and I was like, yes, a quiet, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I came down to little notes in my journal, or in my day planner. I'm an old school. I'm almost 49 years old, you guys, and I don't feel like I look 49, but in my daily journal or my daily planner, I get little notes from my daughter and my son, and it's things like, you're the best mom and leader ever. Keep striving to always do your best. Love you lots.
Aww.
Right? So little Post-it notes. And I think that comes from the fact that since day one, I've always modeled to them and said to them, kindness matters. Do what you know is best, regardless of whether it's popular or not. And success isn't always popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to do what's best for you, as long as you know that you are not hurting people along. And you may hurt people, but that's on them. Don't break a promise to yourself. You are meant to do more. You are meant to be more. And you're meant to show other people and leave that impact. That is what we're here. And so if you don't know what that is for yourself, start doing some of that gratitude work. Start doing some of that building, because I couldn't have sat here and told you half of this. As much as I seemed confident, I would have been dry throat, and I would have been nervous, and I would have been stumbling over my words, and I would have been feeling like I was a fraud and telling lies about what I wanted. And they always say, fake it till you make it. Well, I faked it for a long time, but I had to believe in me. And so I think, Kelly, getting back to that is the confidence in self, right? Is so important, to just believe in yourself. And if you don't have it yet, find somebody that does believe in you and allow them, open up and allow them to pour that belief into you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. That's so true, right? You want to align yourself with people who are going to lift you higher, right? Align yourself with people who believe in you more than you believe in yourself so that you can get to that next level. I mean, I'm big into, daily learning. And just recently I had read something and it says, if you're the smartest person on your street, move. If you're the smartest person in your friends circle, or if you're the most successful person in your friend group, get some new friends. Right? Go ahead.
Sorry. Have you ever heard of the law of the lid?
Yes.
John Maxwell, right? And so he talks about you can only go as high as, like, you can only grow a team or a business as high as your level is. So what you need to do is raise your level so your team can rise, and a lifting tide raises all boats. So don't be the only one. Help other people raise themselves up too, and surround yourself with that tribe that does that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So I'm really curious to know, like, basically how you're living today, what habits you have today versus, say, 15 years ago. So paint that picture in, what confidence looks like now and what you do to foster that in yourself and in others and maintain that.
Okay, good point. So I have a daily method for success sheet that I use in my business that keeps me on track. I'm a checklist girl. So there's a few rituals that I started. And when I say rituals, you find that habits are created over time, right? So rituals create those habits. And now it doesn't seem like such a chore. At the beginning, it's hard, you guys, when you're starting to make a change in yourself. I won't doubt that. You need to really put your head forward and say, this is where I want to be 90 days from now. Here are the little baby steps that I'm going to be doing in order to get there, whether it's your health, whether it's your skin, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your sleeping, whether it's whatever your habits are, right? And breaking some habits that that aren't serving you. So for me, 15 years ago, you would have seen me getting up when the kids got up, cranky because I was tired. I was always scheduling things for them and getting them out of the house because me staying at home didn't work. And so I was always running around with them. My husband was gone all the time. I was feeling really bitter and angry about the life that I had now. I was away from family. I didn't have family support. I didn't have many friends surrounding me. So that was 15 years ago. Fast forward now. Okay. I choose to get up at 5:30 a.m. every single day. And the reason why I do this is because it allows me to get in a headspace that is positive. So that when my children do get up to go to school, my son's in grade 12 and my daughter's in grade 10, I wake up. When they wake up, I'm like, good morning. I'm ready for the day and I'm happy to see them. Before they get up, though, I have that gratitude journal. So I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. First thing I do in the morning, 3 things I'm grateful for. And if you're not a writer and you don't have a journal, think of it. Close your eyes and think of it. Don't hit the snooze button, right? And then I get up and I go walking, and I walk 3 to 5K every single morning. Today I didn't because it's freezing out. But I have a treadmill behind me here that if I don't go outside, I do it in the daytime here. So I take care of my health. And then I go into my 20 minutes of personal growth and development. So I take an hour for self-care. So it includes gratitude, journaling, and sort of what I'm going to do today so that my mind is set. Then I do my physical activity, and then I come back and I do my personal growth and development. Then I get on with the day with my family, and I work for maybe 2 to 3 hours a day. And then I spend time with friends. I spend time with my husband when he's around. I spend time with my children, shuttling them to and from things. And generally, I'm just a lot happier. And if I miss out that routine in the morning, I kind of get grumpy. I'm not going to lie. And so for me, I know it sets me up for a good day when I've been on routine, and I'm able to check things off my list. And that daily method for success has in my life, as well as I have a daily method for success in my business. And like I said, there's certain things I need to do in order to move my business forward every single day. I make sure those are done and I prioritize them. And then I do the same thing for my personal life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. I can so relate to what you're saying. Yeah, if like there's been mornings where I, will hit the snooze button, and if my feet hit the floor running, I just feel like all helter skelter. I can't think straight. Whereas when I do get up at like 5 or 5:30, I just have some time, right? I have time to do the gratitudes. I have time to self-reflect. I have time to create little mini goals for that day. And I just have time to be me so that I can be patient to deal with a child who is not a morning person typically. So, and then when I'm in a better place, guess what? Like, mornings are beautiful because I love mornings.
I love them too. And I didn't used to, right? Like I was a swimmer. And so I was up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 every morning throughout high school. And I was off to the pool and working out but I always felt like, okay, next. And I felt like I couldn't catch my breath by giving myself that hour in the morning. And so if you aren't at this point, you guys, here's what I recommend is that 15 minutes, give yourself 15 minutes before chaos ensues in your house, whatever that is. Does my husband love me getting up that early? Nope. But I had to get up with him at 4. I didn't have to. I got up with him at 4 o'clock in the morning because we rarely see each other. So it was nice for me to see him off this morning. I couldn't get back to sleep, but guess what? I work from home. And so I've blocked off a couple of hours this afternoon to have quiet time, my nap time, right? Mm-hmm. And what's important is owning your own schedule and knowing. So if you work a full-time job and you're thinking, I'm just exhausted all the time, give yourself some of that self-care so that you can function throughout the day and know that it does get easier. Like I said, that ritual creates a habit. And so habits don't seem like chores anymore. And if it's only 15 minutes, then you can move it to 30 and then 45 and then the full hour. But do something for yourself in those 15 minutes. Not making lunches for the kids, not saying goodbye to somebody, talking to somebody. It's quiet time for you to reflect, do your journaling, your gratitude. Even if you're just sitting in quiet and enjoying a cup of hot something, you've got time for you so that you can regroup. And I will tell you, it will change everything.
Mm-hmm. Something that came to mind too that I would just love to add to that, because I totally 100% agree with what you're saying. And if you're like, for any of the viewers, if you're that person that wakes up and grabs your phone, checks email, just stop doing that. Because what if you grab that phone first thing in the morning and there's like a negative email and it gets you all like pissed off? What's that going to do for the rest of your day? It's going to totally throw your day off. Whereas if you're doing the suggestion that Maura-Jo's, her habits, getting up, taking care of yourself, when you do read that negative email, you'll be in a much better mental place. And that, it won't ruin the rest of your day. Because that's a problem in our society, right? The phones are next to bed tables for a lot of it, like for the most part. And people are grabbing them and the first thing they're waking up and like checking the phones.
100%. And people use it for their alarms. I will tell you that I do have it for my alarm, but that I put everything on snooze from 10 o'clock at night till 7 o'clock in the morning. So I don't get notifications on anything. If I choose to look at it, I can. But I agree, Kelly, like I don't even look at it. I get up in the morning, I check the weather before I go outside to know what I'm expecting for when I go for my walk. But otherwise, I don't check it. Mm-hmm. And I don't check it until after I've done my gratitude, my personal growth, and my physical activity. And the reason I don't check it is because of that exact same thing. I don't need something to throw me off for the day. I need to keep focused on what I need to accomplish that day. And I will fit that in when it's convenient for me to fit it in. So I'm in control of my life and I have the confidence to carry through the day the way it's mapped out to be. If I have time, I'll deal with it. But there is no emergency nobody is bleeding. nobody is hurt, right? What is priority for me is my family. If it was something for my family who's under my roof, of course, I'm going to change that routine. But otherwise, it's not an emergency. It can be dealt with when I have time that day.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So we have a couple comments that I want to acknowledge, Maura-Jo. So we've got Carrie says, hello, ladies. Hello, Carrie. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. And Janet says, excuse me, hi, Kelly. Hey, Janet, thanks again for tuning in. I would love to hear from the people who are tuned in live. What are your daily success habits? What is your morning routine? Maybe it's not first thing in the morning, but what habits do you have for yourself that sets you up to handle your day with confidence and to achieve some great things for yourself? Please let us know in the comments. Yeah, so that's very, very valuable information that you're sharing, Maura-Jo. Is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers?
I think just taking control of your own life and knowing what you want, right? I was not a product user before Arbonne, and the reason I started Arbonne was, like I said, to get out of the house, to have a little bit of extra income. I had no idea. It wasn't in my line of work field. I don't have aesthetics background. I don't have any kind of training. But what I did know was the community that it surrounded me with made me feel better. So go with that gut feel. If it feels good, go with it. And the people you can meet when you get out of your comfort zone is incredible. Is it going to feel uncomfortable at first? Yep. But does it gain you the confidence that if you've done it once, you can do it more times? Absolutely. This company has done so much more for me than just healed my skin and my scarring. It's healed my heart to be able to, I've always given to people, but I have always known that I needed to have a bigger platform to be able to continue to love on people. And I will tell you, if you're interested in learning more about this, Kelly has used things. And what is it that you love, Kel, about Arbonne? Like, what products do you like?
I love the nutrition line. Like you're saying, you've got the $1 million shake. Yeah, not because it costs $1 million, but because it makes me feel like $1 million as well. I just love that it's simple, that I just, mix up the shake and it just sets me up for the day because it has, the vitamins and minerals, and I don't have to overthink, well, am I taking too much of this supplement and not enough of this supplement? So for me, what the shake does for me, like personally, it totally balances out my emotions.
100%.
So
yeah.
That's really my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in menopause right now. And it's really helped with my night sweats and things like that. So for me, it's about internal health. And there is a ton of scientific research linked to inner gut health being related to what comes out on your skin. Like we said, be comfortable with skin you're in. Back in my day, I was stressed. I wasn't eating healthy. I was tired. But by getting my nutrition in check and getting my gut healthy, my skin became healthy. I started to feel more confident, more radiant. And then I felt like I could represent what it was that I was using. And that's why I had started my Arbonne business, was because I was using it anyways. We're going e-commerce. Most people shop online. That's what it is. It's an online franchise. And I'm able to share that with other people. So if anyone is interested in learning more about what Arbonne has to offer, please reach out to myself or ask Kelly how to get in touch with me. And I'd be happy to just share information with you. I'm not about doing the sales pitch. I'm not about convincing you one way or another. I just know what is done for my life. And I have a mission in life to be able to help other people feel more confident and comfortable in the skin that they're in, but also to be able to provide for their families a better opportunity. I've been able to stay at home with my kids, be the mom at the bus stop, be the mom on the field trips. My son's an actor. I have last minute call outs for him for auditions and filming. And then my daughter was a competitive cheerleader and now is looking at international exchange at 15 years old. She just left a group of friends that were bullying other people who she's been friends with for 10 years because she had the confidence to say, that's not right. And so she does what's right and not popular, not because I've told her that's what you need to do, but because she's watched that sometimes taking the path less traveled has offered opportunities and opened doors to what is beautiful and connection and confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. You're speaking my language right there, confidence and connection. Well, that is amazing. Yes, absolutely. I mean, for anybody watching, please, send Maura-Jo a friend request. And Maura-Jo, you're welcome to leave any links in the comments once we're done, so people can get in touch with you and connect with what you're doing and your awesome vibe. Because you are very inspiring to, the world around you, not just your team. And I just love that you are spreading your light, you're sharing, your big heart in big ways. And it's really amazing to have met you and known you. And I'm so glad that you're here today sharing your bright light with the entire world.
Thank you very much, Kelly, for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if you enjoyed the show today, this is a weekly show, the Coffee and Confidence Show, every Thursday morning right here. You can tune in live on Facebook. I also run a private Facebook group called the Coffee and Confidence Group. And if you feel inclined and pulled and drawn to join that group, I will also leave the link in the comments once we are done today's show. So again, thanks so much, Maura-Jo, for being here. And we'll see everybody next week on episode 23 of the Coffee and Confidence Show. Bye.